In today's episode, let's talk about your generative AI prompts, particularly the ones that power language models like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Anthropic Claude, Meta Llama, etc. I saw a post on LinkedIn recently. Someone was saying, "Hey, I'm putting together the ultimate ebook of generative AI prompts. Send me your prompts, and I'll include them in." That made me uncomfortable, and it made me uncomfortable because people do not realize that prompts are code. Prompts are programming code. They just happen to be in English or Danish or Ukrainian instead of C or Java or Python or other computer languages. Prompts are code. You write them, they are a set of instructions that you give to a machine to try to generate a repeatable outcome. That is literally the definition of code. So if a prompt is code, then what does that mean? What are the implications of that? Well, that means that it's intellectual property, right? And that means it's governed by intellectual property laws, particularly those around code. For example, let's say you work for a big company and your company has a team of developers, and those developers are writing code, like Python code, for example. Would your company be okay if that developer is like, "Hey, check out this cool new function I built in Python. I just slap it up on LinkedIn." And you're a software company, right? Your company probably is not going to be okay with that. They're like, "That's our intellectual property. That's our stuff. You shouldn't be just sharing it with the general public." There are times when you should. There are times when people do share code. Open source software is a good example of this, where companies make a conscious decision to say, "Hey, here's a piece of software we wrote. We're giving it away. Anyone can come and use it." With the understanding there's absolutely no warranty whatsoever. Here it is. Good luck. We do that. If you go over to the Trust Insights GitHub repository, you will see our synthetic CRM generator. It makes fake CRM data that you can use if you're not allowed to work with real data, or if you need something for a teaching example, you can just use our generator. We're giving it away, but we did so as a conscious choice. We applied a software license to it, do all the things that you should do. We made that decision because we wanted to share that code with the world so that other people could take it, run with it, do stuff with it, maybe improve on it, and share their improvements back with us. As our collective understanding and use of generative AI advances, our prompts are going to go from being, a one paragraph prompt for ChatGPT, summarizes a document, you're an expert, administrative assistant, to things that look more like code. They're going to look more like code. They will have control structures. If the user says this, then do this. If the user says this, then do this. While you're doing this, do this. Right? Programming loops, structures, controls. You can build those into prompts today. You can set up variables and say, store your answer from the previous prompt into this variable so that you can reuse it later. And when prompts become more and more like actual computer code with things like branching logic and stuff, then you got to treat it like code. So you've got to think about things like, should it have a license on it that specifies what kind of support your code comes with, what kind of warranty it comes with, who owns that code, who's allowed to use that code. Again, there's plenty of people who share their code for free. It's the definition of open source software, and open source software is critical, right? So much of the current internet runs on open source software, on the generosity of other coders and people who give away their code. The Apache web server, Linux, the operating system, MySQL, the database server, PHP, the programming language. All that's open source. All that's just given away, but it's done so thoughtfully. When you're just giving away your prompts online, that's less thoughtful. That's less thoughtful, and that can be problematic. That could impair intellectual property rights. So I'm not saying don't ever give away your prompts. I am saying be thoughtful and conscious of what it is that you're giving away. Know the implications of it. Know that you need to provide some kind of license with that software, or it's assumed that you're supporting it. You're providing support for it. Understand even the liability of giving away code. If you give away code and you don't have that license that says absolutely no warranty whatsoever, and someone runs your prompt and it causes damage somehow, you could be liable for it if you don't go through the steps of making sure that your code is properly licensed. And prompts are code. So take this take this to heart. Treat your generative AI prompts like code, and you'll protect yourself, you'll protect your company, and you will be conscious of the choices you are making. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to know when new videos are available, hit the bell button to be notified as soon as new content is live.